What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and we've all heard of Teslas. These are probably the most popular electric vehicles on the streets right now. But if you can't afford something like a Tesla, we have some alternatives. So check this guy out in the back here. No, I'm not talking about the car. I'm talking about these guys. Good alternatives if you don't want to pump gas anymore. First, we got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Roborock.
The Roborock S6 isn't just a regular vacuum. It's also a robot mop. You can customize the area that the S6 tackles with its companion app, which means you don't have to have this thing running around aimlessly in your home. It has a bunch of other cool features like multiple sensors for obstacle avoidance, laser distance sensors, even carpet detection that'll automatically activate maximum power, and you also get up to 2.5 hours of battery life and a lot more features. And if you guys are interested in learning more about the Roborock S6, I'll of course have links down below in the description. And this guy will be officially hitting the US June 26th, so be sure to check it out.
So all right, guys, we've got our lineup over here. Damn, that's dirty over there. Now, all of these you can pretty much charge at home. They run for a few miles, well, more than a few miles, and they all have varying speeds, but we'll go over those as we touch on each one of them. Let me go with what I'm comfortable with.
No, scooter board.
The scooter board?
Yes, that's my favorite one.
All right, fine. We're gonna go with the scooter board first, since, you know, Ari likes to choose first. This guy right here, I think, has a top speed of 15.5 miles per hour, and you can ride this for 7.5 miles. So right here, you have your acceleration. This is your brake up front, and you've also got a brake in the back. You can kind of just hit this thing and of course it'll stop. And to get this thing started, all you need is like a little kick. 2 miles per hour is all it needs. And then you get on. Whew. All right. Oh snap! Oh snap! I can do that better. So something to keep in mind with electric skateboards, they have brakes, like the one I just talked about over here. So we're gonna do that again. This time, you'll see how it goes. All right. And then you just slow it down. And what I like about this is it can handle some pretty rough terrain, so that's good. And when I wanna just give it a little bit more speed, yo, shout out to these guys for running with me. This is cool. This one's pretty entry level. It's not too hard. Ari rides this way more than me, and she's pretty good at it.
I saw you put Malcolm on it to see.
Huh?
Malcolm.
And how do I put my feet on it?
What do you mean? You just put your foot on it. All right, so kick. Get your positioning.
Woo!
There you go. Let's go. There you go.
Round of applause for Malcolm. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's get this.
Now we gotta have Jay do it. All right, Jay. Ooh. You gotta remember the brake. You forgot the brake. So yes, people, it is very important to remember the brake feature. There you go. There you go. Yeah. There you go. All right, so that one was pretty simple, very easy to get on, but let's try this guy over here. This one, not so much, and I'm prepared for that. Ari, you want to pass me the stuff?
Oh, we got that.
All right, guys.
And one more.
Fumbled it. Wow.
But all right, guys, right here, we of course have some pads because you got to be safe on these. I'm not too worried about anything else, but this guy right here, this is the Solo Wheel Glide, and I am terrified of it. I definitely think these are the kitty size, babe. That's all that Target had, but all right, let's do this. Now, just standing on it, that's gonna be hard. I don't even know how to. Let's go over here. How about that? All right. Whew. All right, so I'm gonna. Ooh. The most dramatic fall. I barely did anything. Be careful? Did you hear that?
Did it say be careful?
Wow.
I think it's given up on you. It's like,
Yeah, it turned off. It said, nah, no way.
gave up on you.
Malcolm, you're up, buddy.
God.
I'll catch you, Malcolm.
You don't see Malcolm also, he's a skater boy.
Malcolm's like, what? Why'd I take this job?
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
I got you. Go ahead. You just stand on it. I have no other tips for you than that.
I don't want to do this. Wait.
All right. Now just.
Oh, this is so scary.
Okay.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
do
All
it.
right.
I can't.
So we are not gonna risk his life, and I'm not even gonna risk Jay's life.
Whoa.
All right. I think we've seen enough. The solo wheel, unless you know how to ride a unicycle, I don't recommend it.
It wasn't obvious. Jay's their favorite.
Because Jay doesn't. Fine.
Yeah,
Jay got it. Now you got to do it, Jay.
We can't play favorites.
So fun fact, guys. There's also a headlight up there, so you guys see it.
So you can ride at night as if it's not hard enough to ride during the day. Got it, Jay. I believe in you.
Oh, all right, Jay. All right. I'm not trying to see anybody get hurt.
Try if he wants to keep
One more time,
trying.
one more time.
All right.
You got this, Jay.
We don't got workers' comp, all right? Oh! All right. You're good? All right.
No, don't buy this one.
And this thing has some battle scars right here. It's been through it, and it hasn't been ridden once. Nobody has successfully moved this thing. Now, if those two don't work for your dream of replacing a Tesla, then this guy might be what you're looking for. This is the Unimoke. So this is an electric bicycle. Now, if you're expecting this thing to kind of just go on its own, like you're thinking a motorcycle, that's not what this guy is. That's not what it does. This pretty much gives you a boost when you're riding. You have to ride normally, and it gives you some assistive pushes. And this thing can go up to 20 miles per hour. I believe the range is 31 to like 37 miles per hour, depending on your weight and all that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna show you guys how it goes. So basically, you gotta ride it normally, and then it all of a sudden gives you that little kick right there. Now, even though this is meant to be more assistive than it is to just ride you along, it can do that, and then it will just keep going indefinitely where you don't have to pedal. But the thing is, it's not very fast. Kind of just hold it, and then it takes off, and then you're pretty much just cruising. You're just kind of cruising at this speed. I don't have to pedal at all. And this is just it. And this thing's also got like this display up front, so it'll tell you how fast you're going. It'll tell you how much of an assistive presence it has. So if you wanna max that up all the way to 9, you can do that. And you can take it down all the way to 1. So once you start riding, then you're gonna feel that kick. So go for it, buddy. Oh, wasn't expecting the kick, huh? All right, so once you kick, you're pretty much good to go. So anyone new can get into this with no problem, as long as you understand what you're getting yourself into, since most people will probably look at this and think it's like a motorcycle or a moped of some sort. It's not that. And for this one, I feel like all of you guys know it. We got a hoverboard. Now this one's...
It's a generic version of a hoverboard.
This is the Swagtron. So people know this one. This fad has died very, very quickly once the batteries started exploding and burning down people's houses and whatnot. So people don't ride this anymore, but they still sell them. It goes at 4.8 miles per hour for about 7 miles. So you could use it to get somewhere. Probably not the coolest thing to do anymore, but it's an option. So the hardest part is like actually getting on it for the first time when you're not used to it. But all right, there you go. So yeah, you pretty much lean forward and you're just able to go. If you want to stop, you kind of lean back. You want to turn, you just kind of lean one foot in the direction that you want to turn or the opposite direction that you want to turn. You can of course spin on this because of the way the wheels are set up. And those are pretty much your movements. It's really not that hard to get. This is me moving right now with very, very, very little experience. Malcolm, you ever rode one of these? Yeah, don't do that. You knew it was coming.
I don't scared of the most, honestly.
You're scared of this one?
I can never get this.
So you just put your leg on that and then just jump on the other one.
Wait.
You got this. There you, oh. Just do it. You're too scared. Just do it.
I know I'm scared.
I'm just saying, turn that part of your brain off.
All right, Jay's turn. I can't do that. I don't got balance like that. All right, Jay, we get it. Yeah.
Jay's got this. He's been training so he could use this with the camera. Woo, go ahead, Jay. Jay's just showing off right now. Yeah. Jay's busting out the camera moves like he got a gimbal in hand. But let's move on to where I am the most comfortable, and that is with this guy. The boosted board, electric skateboard, and we also have the Z board over here, which is actually where I learned to ride electric skateboards. So the boosted board uses a remote. I think most people are familiar with the boosted board. You use this remote, you've got a little trigger that you press up front, and then you hold on to this wheel to go forward or to go back. And that's pretty much how you move on it. Now with the Z board, you actually have a different system than a remote control. You see these pads over here? These two pads are how you control it. So this is your reverse and this is your acceleration. Now moving on the boosted board is more than just using the remote. You also have to balance. So if you wanna go right, you wanna lean more on the toes, and if you wanna go left, you go on the back of your heels. Now of course, depending on how you're standing, this can change. So if I'm standing this way, it's the opposite. But as you use these things more, you get way more comfortable. So right now, I could turn the speed up in a heartbeat and I have no problem moving around. Now this right here is the Z board, and this is the first electric skateboard that I used. Really fell in love with them after getting my hands on one of these. And the way that you ride on these, it makes sense. It just feels natural, but it is way more taxing on the legs. So you have these pads, as I mentioned before. So you kind of just stand on them, and if you want to give it a little juice, you just kind of lean. The more weight that you put on one side, the faster this thing will go. And if you want to back up, you just kind of lean back. But it's really simple once you get it. Honestly, the choice is yours between which one you'd get. I personally like the boosted board a bit more because it's just a lot smoother and it's not as taxing on the legs with these acceleration pads, but it is kind of nice to have hands-free when you're using this thing. Now, obviously, none of these are real Tesla alternatives, but it's summertime and these are great to use in the park like this one. So if you just want to ride around, you'll have a good time with these. But I think the major takeaway here, guys, is don't buy the solo wheel.